Hi, this is Maarten Visser of Flute Lab in Amsterdam. If you already have a vertical flute like this one, or you are considering to buy one, this is for you. The basic holding position of the vertical flute is quite straightforward. I prefer to hold it not exactly vertical, but a little bit slanted. It's much easier on the right hand. But there are two main problems with holding the vertical flute, and one of them is that all the weight seems to rest on the right thumb, and the other one is that the contact point on the left hand is lost. And we need a way to control the weight of the flute somehow. And I've got a number of solutions for that, and I'd like to present them here for you. This is the thumb rest. It's made for the right thumb. I'll show it to you. One thing you'll see is pretty large, and that is good because it will distribute the weight over a large surface. You also see it's wide, and that's also good, I think, because it doesn't stand out when you perform for an audience. You can hardly see it. And also, well, when you look very closely, I don't know if it works with this camera, you can see some white lines. And that's because it's 3D printed, and the 3D printing gives me the freedom to print in any color, but also in any shape that I want. So if you have any ideas or improvements, I can realize that very easily. Now I'll go show how to put it on the flute. Now, here we are with the thumb rest and the flute. And I put it on the flute here. As you can see, that's pretty much opposite the F key. And I'll put it upside down. Look at this. Stupid. This way it goes.
Rustig weg.
Now you can see it from the end, I hope. And this is the way it supports the flute.
It's clear, yep.
You can put it a bit higher or a bit lower. And if it tends to slide, clean the flute with rubbing alcohol. That works pretty well. The right hand thumb rest is essential, really, to the vertical flute. You really can't play without. But there are much more ways to control the weight of the flute to add to this. This is the left hand support. People with older versions of the vertical head joints might have them in grey plastic version or metal. This is the most contemporary one. And one nice thing about it is the curved surface, which is in contact with your hand. And I'll show you how to put it on the flute. Yeah? It clips on right here. And now you can adjust it to fit your hand. Now, for my taste, this is a bit too low. I put it a bit higher. I want the contact point around here on my hand. So I'll turn this a bit out. And now it's good. Go. If it's too low, then it gives more support, but then you have less freedom of movement in the hand. If it's too high up, then you have more freedom, but it gives less support. So you will have to find your own balance with this. But on the whole, you can support the flutes with very little help of the other finger. So you are free to play the flute. These two are the bases, and it might be all you need. But some people want more support to control the weight of the flute. And a lot of customers ask me to make a neck strap. And I've got it. The thing, however, with a neck strap, usually on most instruments like clarinet, oboe, soprano, saxophone, the ring of the strap is above the thumb. But if you would do that with the vertical flute, I'll show it, your strap would be here. It would be almost horizontal and it wouldn't support anything. So it makes no sense. For that reason, I put the neck strap on the bottom of the flute, where also it doesn't interfere with the thumb. I'll show you how to put it on. I'll just remove the foot joint, and may I please summon the camera over here. Hello camera, hello to my world. This is the special ring I made, again 3D printed, and this is the foot joint of the flute, and it needs a bit of pushing, and there it goes. It's all around the flute. The little nut goes into the recess, and here's a small Allen screwdriver that I have. It needs a bit of tightening. And then of course this angle is quite critical really. And it often needs a bit of experimenting to find the right angle. Tighten. Put the foot joint on. And by the way, with the vertical flute, you find the foot joint keys, they go a bit flatter than you are perhaps used to on the normal flute. And then here's the strap. It's a very long strap. The common straps, don't like to use on other woodwinds, are too short for this. So I have these ones specially made for the purpose. And here they are. And it hooks in like this. And ready to play. This is the way you support with the neck strap. Right now it's a little bit too high. The neck strap is adjustable to adjust right to your size. This here is what goes on the instrument. It's attached with two Allen screws. You have to undo one of them. Oh, my screwdriver nearly falls. And I'll put it, it goes on like this. This goes like this. I'll put the Allen screw back in. And I tighten. Tighten the other side. And it needs to be adjusted to the right angle. And I'll show you up close. Can you see it well? You can see it has small hooks which prevents the flute from sliding down. It goes this thing here in which the music stand part goes, and it got a tightening knob. Small drawback with this, and also with many of my other implements, if you want to keep this on the flute, it will not fit in your flute case anymore, and you might have to ask someone who's good with woodworking our cabinet maker to make you a special flute case. Now let's have a look at the music stand. Stand, solid quality, made by K&M in Germany, good quality, good enough for this. I'll just undo this knob and I undo it completely. Pom, pom. Small washer comes out. I take this bolt, keep it. This I don't need anymore. And instead of the music holding thing, I don't know what it's called, I put this instead. It's a flat piece of metal with a hole in it and a straight round piece of metal, really quite simple. So I put it here, I put the bolt back in. Plom. And tighten nut. This goes up, a bit at an angle perhaps. And now I've put the flute back together again. Here's the flute. And now it goes like this. Tighten nut. And here we are. Now this is much too high for me. I need to lower it. And I've got a fully supported vertical flute. Bring your own music stand. Because when you order one of these, I only send the special parts around here and you supply your own music stand. That's all it takes to convert a music stand to a vertical flute support stand. I hope this is all it takes to have you play the vertical flute with no problems. If you need any help, or if you have any ideas, I'd love to hear from you. I will show my email address in a second. And of course you can go to my website. Bye bye. This is Maarten Visser from Flute Lab in Amsterdam.